Hello and welcome to sunny San Diego for today's Western Ultimate League game of the San Francisco Falcons versus San Diego Super Bloom. I am Jory Moore, one of your commentators here with
Neha Vandenberg. I'm back.
And we are excited for this rematch of the two teams in this conference who have cinched their places in Champ Weekend in Colorado 2 weeks from now. It is a rematch after SF took a decisive victory over San Diego Super Bloom on their home turf just last month. As you can see on the screen here, we have the standings for the Northwest and Southwest conferences with Colorado and the Bay and San Diego and Utah all at the top here. We are hoping to see the standings decided by this game, who will be seated number 1 and who will be seated number 2 between Bay Area and Super Bloom, as they right now have the same amount of wins and losses going into this game. What are some keys of the games that we can expect to see going into this play?
Well, I think both these teams are looking for a really exciting rematch. Same record, and very recently faced off. But you know, this game is kind of just for the glory, really, before Champ Weekend kicks off. We had some chances to talk to the coaches, and for SF, they had a game last night against Arizona and flew in today to San Diego to play this game. So Coach Dariani mentioned that players could be affected by travel, but there haven't been any injuries, and looking for good perseverance amongst the roster to pull out this win.
Yeah, San Francisco definitely mentioned that today's game is showing better weather overall for their players, and we are seeing some wind. When we were down on the field earlier, it seems like it was a pretty strong upwind, downwind, which will definitely decide some of these points. It'll also play into the pacing of the game. We'll probably see pretty quick downwind offensive points, or at least that's the goal, and a lot more fights and back and forth on those upwind points.
Yeah, Jory, so you were in the last game where San Diego and San Francisco faced off. What kind of key differences do you see between that game and this game?
Yeah, so the last time that these two teams faced off against each other, there was a lot of difference in personnel, especially on the Super Bloom side, given that a lot of the handlers and key players for Super Bloom were unavailable for that game due to coaching college teams or other prior time commitments. So for personnel with Super Bloom, we're going to see a lot more of the normal faces in the backfield for our handlers, which I think will set a pace and a comfort level that the entire team is familiar with. And we'll see a lot more of the initiation out of the handler space. Now we're seeing the Bay Area Falcons roster. Speaking of personnel changes, speaking with the coaching staff earlier, there are some key defensive players that you might notice are not on this roster. We have a pretty full roster here for the Falcons. We're seeing a lot of their offensive players, big playmakers across the board, but we are missing Sharon Lynn, Shaylin Harris, Vivian Chu, and Vicky as well. Those are some players that we usually see making a lot of difference on our defensive points. So that's going to change the matchups that SF is looking to put out on some key San Diego Super Bloom players.
Most definitely. I think Falcons also have a really strong offensive line and will probably bring their strong handlers as well as some of their really important hybrid players to really be efficient and make sure that they're capitalizing on any chance they get to punch in the score.
Yeah, definitely. And here we see that Super Bloom roster. As noted, we are seeing Kristen Pajunas able to play this game, which is she was unavailable in the last time these teams faced off, as well as other key players such as Kelly Iwamoto, Samantha WUL, Rebecca Ellis, and Ava Hanna. Those are all handlers, with Kirsten Prajunas, obviously a key defensive player for Super Bloom, who the team is glad to have back, able to face off against the Falcons on home turf. Something that the San Diego Super Bloom coaching staff mentioned earlier that they are keeping in mind in terms of mentality for this game is a phrase that one of the assistant coaches coined, which is possession creates opportunity, which I believe to this team means that they want to play their own game, play their strategy, and make sure that they are possessing the disc whenever possible, whether that is on a break chance or on offensive points, which I believe we are seeing. This game is going to start off with Super Bloom on offense. We see the Falcons are going to be pulling down, so a strong defensive line out there to start off this game. How do you think this first point is going to go?
Well, I think San Diego's going to come out with a bang. They're going to really try and set the tone of this game, especially at home. We've got Donahue pulling. Let's see, we're about to be off. Nice pull from Donahue. Received by Iwamoto. Iwamoto to Ellis. To Elimelech, who rips it deep. Looking for Abby Schultz.
An immediate deep shot. Looked like a pull play there. They stuck with the string. Unfortunately, with the wind in play as well, players are still getting a feel for that, and Schultz was unable to run it down, so we have Falcons with a break chance opportunity.
P with the disc to McQuaid. McQuaid swings it back to Meaty Chang. Oh, a near foot block. Winslow with the disc. Oh, Elimelech with the block. Unfortunate turnover there. Players really getting a feel for the wind right now, I think significantly affecting their throws. Chang with the disc. To number 13, McQuaid. Oh, McQuaid can't find Winslow.
Yeah, just off the hands of Winslow. As you were saying, confident receivers just getting a feel for the wind out here.
Iwamoto to McIntyre. McIntyre to Elimelech, but can't quite reel it in. P with the disc now from the Falcons. Back to Meaty Chang. Finds Winslow.
I believe that is
McQuaid. McQuaid trying to find Winslow, but unable to.
Let's see if Super Bloom can put that possession-oriented offense to work here.
Iwamoto on the trap sideline. Oh, looks like a pick called.
Pick called in the stack. It looks like uninvolved. Players are trying to get an idea of what the stall should come in at. Just a note, the stall should come in at the time of the call.
McIntyre with the disc, looking deep. To Bile. Bile looking upfield. Good coverage by the Falcons. Ooh, unfortunate turnover.
Right. Yeah, great downfield pressure by Falcons to earn that disc back.
P with the disc, finds McQuaid. Back to Winslow.
It's like Donahue
with
the
disc. Back to Q.
Looks like that was a shot from Jillian Dew, not quite finding receiver Eliza Chang, and Super Bloom back with the disc.
Iwamoto, long way to march up to Deanna Abrams. Looking upfield, unable to connect with McIntyre.
Yeah, the wind really pushing that disc down. Into the opposite direction. It's just sailing out of the reach of a Falcons receiver.
I believe we're at our 8th turnover in this point.
First point jitters.
Wow. Nothing like it.
Iwamoto lets a huge throw rip. Ellie Melik to receive.
In triple coverage. Wow. Looking for Schultz. Oh, unable to connect. P with the disc. Looking backfield for Meaty Chang.
Looks like there is a call on there. Foul call. No contest.
Stall back to 0. Ellis on the disc. He finds Eliza Chang. Back to Meaty Chang and back to Pugh. Handlers doing their thing in the back. Donahue with the big gainer. Up to Du. Now back to Pugh. Eliza Chang with the disc looking upfield. Launches it up. Wow.
And that is a break for San Francisco Falcons. A decisive break right out of the gate. As you said, a lot of turnovers in that point. We are seeing the wind affect the throws on these plays. I wonder if both teams, the coaching staff is probably going to talk to their players about, again, keeping that possession orientated. Let's get a replay of the score by the Falcons. We see it going up to Donahue. Very close coverage by Bile right there, but Donahue able to reel that in for a break to start off this game.
Tori, what kind of pep talk would you be giving after a point like that?
To which team?
To Super Bloom on the line.
To Super Bloom, I think they need to keep in mind their own keys of the game, which is that they want to play their game, their strategy, which is to work it up the field, taking the first open throw, not trying to force anything. Let's see if they can get it done this point.
With the pull. WUL to Hannah. Hannah looking upfield, finds Pajunas.
2 notable returns for this roster.
Boosts it deep to nobody. Seems like a high stall bailout there from Pajunas.
I think when we're facing that end zone on the left side of your screens, taking deep options is a good choice. As a cutter, you want to have those deep options available for your throwers as the disc will be sailing. We have Han Chen picking up.
Cardenas.
Han Chen working it in the backfield.
Finds Maru. Floater up above. Again with the disc, trying to find
Imanishi with the amazing dive to save the disc.
Great grab there.
Back to Chen, who lets it rip. Let's see, Pajuna's there. Always a threat in that deep space, immediately throwing it.
Finds Danica Hallen. Back to Zettner. Zettner looking upfield. Quick up line to Ava Hannah, who rips it deep. Pajunas just outside the end zone.
An amazing sliding grab to keep possession. Throwing it up. We see that wind again. Looks like a strip is being called. Samantha WUL calling a strip.
Looks like. On win. Came down with it.
Yeah, great defensive pressure there by the Falcons. A pretty contentious grab there. They are going to the observers to make a ruling.
Looks like observers rule, not a foul.
Not a foul. They are upholding the catch by UN.
Chen with the big gainer.
Stepanitis getting it back to Chen. Chen going almost every other here.
Big floater. Let's see who's going to land down with that. Pachunas breaks it down.
Yeah, the disc really hanging there to allow Super Bloom to get coverage in the space. Let's see if they can punch it in.
Dunas finds WUL. WUL looking upfield, she's gonna rip it deep. Oh, Jessica Wan just can't quite track it down. The wind not working in their favor this time. Han Chen walking back to the disc. Looking upfield, good pressure from Super Bloom. Timeout called by the Falcons.
I think that is a smart choice by the Falcons coaching staff. A timeout on the second point of the game, a long point. We are already at just under 4 minutes. Again, there are 12 minutes for each quarter. So in these 2 points alone, we have taken up 2/3 of the time of the first quarter. So a timeout is well needed by these players. What do you think Falcons are going to set up as an offensive look coming out of this timeout?
I think that they will probably do something in their handler set to get things moving. They are going upwind now, so it'll be challenging to work that disc up and have those deep looks be successful. So that's what I expect to see. Here we see on the screen the UCSD Pep Band, who has joined us at the game.
Let's take a look at a replay. There we see the throw from Jacqueline Yuen to Imanishi for that amazing grab. A lot of amazing grabs during this point. Both sides. Yeah, I wonder if that was actually in, that sliding grab. It looked like the first point of contact might have been in. And then here we see, yeah, that looks like a clean grab by Yuen there. But a lot of traffic in that space. Of course, whenever a call happens, we can go to observers, we can retract it, and talk about it. One of the wonderful aspects of Ultimate. Han Chen picking up.
Oh my goodness, a massive block from Rebecca Ellis. Just off the swing, wow.
Not quite what Falcons were hoping out of that timeout. End zone look from Super Bloom.
Beautiful pass, Iwamoto to Ellis.
Bookends.
What do we call that? Bookends for Ellis. Wow.
Yeah, a really critical defensive play right there from Ellis, being able to just smack down the disc on that reset look. Great anticipation. Long point, another long point.
Another long point.
Are 3.5 minutes left to go on the first quarter, and the score is 1-1. Let's get a replay of that right here. Amazing poach.
Whoa.
It was a poach D.
It was a poach D.
Very smart play from Ellis.
Yeah.
And that, again, is another notable personnel. And here we see Iwamoto and Ellis both missing from the last time these teams saw each other. Doing what they do in the backspace.
Like they've never been gone. That's good to see. Both coaches for UCSD.
And now we're going to see Super Bloom on their first defensive point of the game. And we're going to see how the Falcons do on their first offensive point. As we were saying before the start of this game, you know, Falcons have a very strong O-line. They're comfortable with each other.
Hannah with the pull. Carnahan with the disc.
See Cardenas.
Han Chen with the disc now.
Getting it back to Han Chen. Anderson looking upfield. And another
nice, huge grab.
Lexi Zalk looking for a bailout. Han Chen right there. Cardenas again. A quick grab by Anderson.
An easy walk up. Goal by Sarah Carnahan.
Wow, that was a clean hold. The first one of the game.
Yeah.
Beautiful offense there by Falcons. Just really able to use, I think, one of the keys of the games that they wanted to implement. Here's a replay. We see Anderson confident, getting it to Cardenas. Quick throws, just quick movement. Super Bloom trying to catch up. And there's a score for Falcons.
Awesome.
Quickest point of the quarter.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point that this might be a low-scoring game based on the wind and kind of what we've been seeing, but that highlights the importance of capitalizing on the breaks. There's not a lot of time in these quarters, especially with the amount of turnovers, so it's really important to, San Diego down a break to early on make sure that they're trying to get that back.
Agreed. And we're seeing a bit of a poachy look here from Falcons on defense. Doesn't stop Pajunas from ripping it to the deep space, but good coverage by Winslow on Ellie Melik, and Falcons get another break chance.
AP on the disc, walking it up. Finds Winslow, dishes it. Oh, and an unfortunate turnover by Meaty Chang right on the goal line.
Another red zone look from Super Bloom.
Iwamoto with the pickup and easy find to Elimelech.
Looks like they've done that before.
It's, world-class playing right there.
A great opportunity there by the Falcons, getting that break chance with an unfortunate turnover, and Bloom able to get that hold. Let's see, Iwamoto picking it up. Classic, just a nice, easy throw to Ellie Melik, a huge receiver in the end zone.
Yeah. They say you can't teach tall. Not that she needs to be tall for that one, but no.
As you were saying just before the start of the last point, Super Bloom needs to capitalize and get a break opportunity, generate a break chance for themselves in order to get this score up with just under 2 minutes left here.
We got Hannah with the pull again. Looks like Carnahan picking up. Finds Han Chen. Oh, a deep shot. Oh, and almost blocked.
An amazingly quick point again for SF, and that is another clean hold as well.
Goal for Suji. I think the commentator's curse just happened where I said these points were going to be long, and we've had pretty clean games since then.
A little bit. It also just looks like, at least on the Falcons side, they're settling into their pace. It seems like they're getting the jitters out. Let's get a replay of that. Carnahan throwing it to Chen. Chen getting it to
Hammer,
and then
Hammer finding Imanishi.
Imanishi just outside the goal line to Suji. Great movement there from the Falcons. Very quick play. How do you think Super Bloom is strategizing to respond to this quick play from Falcons?
Yeah, well, they're going downward now, so might expect to see a pull play out of this one. We'll see. Ellis picking up the disc on the sideline. Finds Elimelech. Elimelech trapped on the sideline here. Shoots it deep. Looking for Schultz. Oh, unable to track it down.
Yeah, the wind taking a little bit of control on the shape of that throw there. Looked like a high stall bailout from Ellie Melik. We're seeing once again the poachy in the backfield defense from Falcons. Looks like it's really stifling the Super Bloom offense.
Chang with the disc to McQuaid. Back to Chang. Chang looking dump. Finds Liza Chang.
Could have been an opportunity for for Super Bloom, but Falcons with the eye on the disc, able to reel it in, and they are marching up the field.
He with the disc. Oh, disc pops up. Wow, great grab there from Amanda Maru. He with the disc again, looking upfield. Finds Donahue. Donahue to Wang. Wang looking for options and finds Meidi Chang. Back to Pugh. Beautiful up line from Meidi Chang. That's another break for the Falcons.
That is another decisive break from the Falcons. Talk about taking a break chance opportunity and running with it. We did see a couple discs pop up on that point, but Falcons were there. They were the players in that space, making sure they were the ones coming down with that disc, and it is paying off, as we are seeing with just 20 seconds left on the scoreboard. Falcons with a lead of 4-2.
Let's see the replay.
There's that high stall put by Ellie Mellick. Schiltz does a great job trying to run it down, but it looks like it just drops at the last second. And here we see Falcons coming down with that catch, making sure they are the ones in that space, and Meidi Chang with the score. Meidi Chang had a pretty decisive game last night as well against Arizona on their home turf, and looks like she is keeping it up.
In with the pull, Uemoto collects. Finds Pajunas in the center of the field. Pajunas looks upfield to Savinsky. Savinsky to Ellis. Ellis finds Samantha WUL up line.
Just under 10 seconds. Excuse us, the clock ran out. It is now a possession game.
Wow, beautiful throw from Pajunas to find Ellis in the end zone. Kind of a role reversal there, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the Super Bloom handlers in the deep space, able to reel it in. As we saw here, when time expires on a quarter, the team in possession of the disc is still able to score. The quarter will either end with a score or a turnover. And so that brings us to the end of the first quarter with a score of 4 to the Falcons and 3 to San Diego Super Bloom. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. Welcome back. We have just concluded the first quarter of this game of San Francisco Falcons against San Diego Super Bloom. The last of here, let's see a replay of the last score of the quarter. We see WUL getting it to Pajunas. Pajunas looking for options, and Ellis in the deep space.
It's a good holster from Pajunas, patiently waiting for her options to develop, and finding Ellis just right in the end zone.
Yeah, we did see great possession by Super Bloom on that last point there. But what we have seen overall in terms of clean holds, San Francisco Falcons having 2 clean holds. I don't believe Super Bloom has had a clean hold yet, at least not in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. And, of course, San Francisco also getting those 2 breaks that have now put them up 4-3 over Super Bloom. What kind of response do you think we're going to see from Super Bloom going into this second quarter?
I mean, I think they're going to want to really clean up their offense and be a little bit more conservative with their throws. The win has been really challenging, and both teams took a few points to level into it, but I think San Francisco seems to be a lot more comfortable. We'll see what Super Bloom kind of settles in and does this next quarter.
Yeah, definitely making sure to take those first open throw opportunities, open receivers, working it up the field, which is something that San Francisco Falcons have actually been doing a great job. Their play on offense, and this includes their defensive offense as well, has been really great at being quick, taking their first throw and working it up the field, being smart with the disc. Mm-hmm. We were talking about how the first 2 points of the first quarter actually took up just over 8 minutes of the 12 minutes of the quarter. And then we saw, I believe, 5 points then were scored in the last 3.5 minutes of that quarter. Do you expect the rate of scoring to continue on as it was towards the end of the quarter?
I mean, I think it should, right? Like, it looks. This is a professional teams. These throwers are really good, even in the wind, and I think could have been just some jitters that was causing the turnovers in that first point.
Let's find out.
Hannah with the pull. Falcons coming down the disc. We got Carnahan in the middle. Finds number 44, Hammer. Hammer looking up line, finds Carnahan again. Carnahan to Erheim finds number 44, Hammer again. Oh, and a near block by bidding Iwamoto.
But Maru able to hang onto that disc. Great defensive pressure by Super Bloom, but another clean hold for the Falcons to start off the second quarter. An amazing job here. I just want to highlight the Falcons. Let's look at that replay here as we see Hammer grabbing that disc, and there's Iwamoto bidding, but Maru cool and collected to get that score. I just want to highlight the San Francisco Falcon handlers here. They are doing a great job of having very cool, collected movement in the backfield, really driving the disc up the field and then looking to their cutters to push the disc up and get the score.
Looks like Donahue with the pull. Iwamoto picks up in the center of the field, finds Pajunas for a big gainer. Pajunas looks upfield and grabs Dina Elimelech. Nice connection to Zettner. Back to Pajunas, who again finds Zettner in the center of the field.
Amazing job, and that is the first clean hold by Super Bloom in the game, and a beautiful one at that. That is the possession-oriented play I think this team wants to see, wants to bring to the field. Just able to move it up the field, one throw at a time, pull string, making sure they're throwing to their open players, smart throws.
I totally agree. Finding the open players, especially in a windy game like this, is
Let's get a replay.
super critical.
Here we see Iwamoto. We're going to get the whole string here to Pajunas. Pajunas then finding Elimelech. Elimelech looking, and then waiting to make sure to hit open cutter. Zettner also faking off, waiting. Pajunas with it again. Another fake, and then getting Zettner for the score.
Beautiful juke out by Zettner there in the end zone. It's 5-4 Ava Hanna now with the disc. Falcons coming down. Got Chen with the disc.
Getting it immediately over to Anderson.
Back to Chen. Chen finding Imanishi, diving Imanishi at that. Back to Chen. Oh, it looks like a catch. Hard to see from up here, but I think that was Carnahan who had the catch.
Yes, that was Carnahan with a great grab in the end zone there.
I think right in front of Donahue, looks like.
Yeah, we had two Falcons players and their two Bloom defenders in that space, but Carnahan able to come down with the disc, reading it perfectly to make sure that was a score for the Falcons. Here we see Cardenas getting it to Chen. Chen seeing a shot, taking it just over the reach of the Super Boom players as we see those two Falcon players were streaking deep, and the wind, as well as that shot, just beautiful shot by Chen there, flying right over the defenders' heads to allow another clean hold.
That's 4 for the Falcons on clean holds. Got Mankoff with the pull.
Looks like a bit of a roller. Short pull here. Let's see how Super Bloom is going to take advantage of this short pole. Iwamoto getting ready to pick up.
No options upfield. Oh, and a bailout throw looks like.
Great coverage by Winslow there. Getting the block, and now Falcons have a break chance.
Beautiful upline from Hugh, who shoots deep. Oh, but cannot connect with number 26, Mankoff.
Bajuna's picking up for Bloom. Looking for a quick opportunity to score.
It's the open hands of Jessica Wan, who finds Alamelik. Back to Bajunas, who shoots it
and
up the break side.
Bile with the score. And that is a hold for Super Bloom after a break chance by the Falcons.
That's right. I feel like they've made some offensive adjustments and have been able to punch in a lot more. What do you think has been the difference between the beginning of the game versus now for Super Bloom?
I think they're taking less risky deep shots. They're holstering those deep shots, letting those cutters still go deep. Let's get a replay of this right here. We see Juan finding Ellie Melik to Bajunas, and Bile right on the edge of the end zone getting the score. But yeah, less risky deep shots. Those cutters are still going deep, still stretching the field, but now our unders are open, and then handlers are swinging it when they have the opportunity as well.
We've got Hannah again with the pull.
6-5.
Strong defensive line from San Diego. We've got Meaty Chen.
Chen immediately taking a look downfield.
Oh, beautiful find to Maru. Maru looking upfield, able to connect with Carnahan. Looks like some call on the field.
Looks like play will continue. Disc is staying.
Carnahan looking upfield. Ooh!
And a massive grab there by Hammer just over Ava Hanna. And that is a quick point by Falcons.
That's right.
And that is another clean hold. Just amazing offense here from the Falcons O-line.
I think we're going to see like hopefully a little bit more action on defense soon, because I was hoping for some good layouts.
Let's
this
see that
game.
Replay after the call. Wow, Hannah just there.
Oh, man.
But Cara Hammer, an amazing thrower, known for her throwers, also an incredible receiver, able to get a hand on that disc and get the score for the Falcons.
Donahue here with the pull. Bay 7, San Diego 5. We have Ellis picking up the disc. Finding Ellen Melik, able to hold on. And boosting it deep to Bile. Can Bile get there? Yes. Yes, she can. In the end zone as well.
For a score. Sitting down on the field just to make sure the disc stays in her hands. And now that is a clean hold for Super Bloom. We're seeing their O-line settle in a little bit. Let's see how the D-line does on the next point.
Bile's a huge pickup for San Diego. Tell me what it's like playing with Meredith Bile.
Yes, Meredith Bile previously played with Los Angeles Astra and is playing with Super Bloom. Let's get a quick look at this replay. There's Ellis. Great throw to Ellie Melik. Ellie Melik looking downfield, seeing Bile. Bile able to read it, and a little bit of acrobatics from the Falcons there. Bile's energy is amazing, both on and off the field. A really positive player and speedy on the field. That catch there is one that you can definitely trust Bile as a player.
This is the point where one of these
Okay, we've got Elimelech with the pull. Oh, a massive pull.
Yeah, that's one of the further pulls we've seen on the upwind side.
Exactly. Han Chen. Han Chen looking centered, trying to connect with Carnahan, but instead finding Anderson. Anderson looking upfield. Good pressure defense from San Diego. Ooh, able to connect with number 7, Cardenas. Oh, and boost it to Imanishi. Oh, Imanishi can't track it down.
Yeah, the wind really making sure that the deep shots in that direction to the left side of your screen are really carrying. So now we see Iwamoto picking up for a break chance opportunity. And a timeout is called.
Lack of movement upfield. I think Falcons doing a good job of preventing any upfield passes coming off from Iwamoto.
Yeah, so we have a timeout by Super Bloom, probably to figure out a pull, not a pull play, a play out of the timeout. Just a note, a set play. Just a note that when timeouts are called, we are able to exchange wholesale all of the personnel if needed on either team. So both the defensive line and offensive line, they can switch out as many or as little players as they want. So I wonder if we're going to see any personnel changes here. Looks like a majority of the same players on Super Bloom. We look like we're seeing a strong defensive line being put out there by the Falcons to try to stifle this set play off of the timeout from Super Bloom.
Yeah, this could be a big break chance for San Diego here.
Yeah, if they are able to punch it in, this will tie up the game.
Looks like Iwamoto picking up the disc.
Offensive set. Here we go.
Swings it break to Ava Hanna, who finds McIntyre. Connecting with Elimelech. Iwamoto, who connects again with Ellis. Back to Iwamoto.
Super Bloom having some trouble upfield.
Oh, McIntyre with the deep look. Oh, just over the hands there. Looking for McIntyre, who bids. Oh, and unable to reel that in.
An amazing bid. Injury called by McIntyre there. She really put her body on the line, laying out for that disc from Ava Hanna after catching a great deep look from Elimelech. Let's take a quick look again. Here's that throw to Elimelech. Elimelech shooting, seeing a streaking McIntyre in the deep zone, and able to read it, come down.
Very Hanna, close from Win on the defense there.
And here's that bid in the hand, and then the impact really just makes that disc drop out.
What a run by McIntyre there. Really known for her trailing layouts.
Bay Area picking it up. Chen starting us off. Cardenas. Quick movement from Falcons.
Wang with the disc.
A lot of quick movement, hard to keep up with. We see Chen to Chang. Chang looking deep.
Oh, man.
Cardenas waiting in the right outside the end zone.
Ooh, a little bobble there. Oh, looks like caught out of bounds.
An immediate huge huck from Iwamoto looking for Elimelech. Elimelech bobbles as well, unable to get it on that second chance. And Falcons picking up immediately.
Looking for Stepanitis with the disc. Stepanitis finding Chen. Chen looking upfield. Ooh. Running out of options there.
Pajuno's getting it to Ellie Melick. Ellie Melick with no mark on, patiently waiting for something to develop downfield. Seeing Hannah.
Up. Big huck. Oh! A big huck to Schultz. Unable to pull it in.
Honestly, a great great effort by Schultz there on bidding when I don't think she
knew the disc
was up. Taking an injury on that looks, the turf out here is pretty hard to bid on. So taking an injury, and we see Hallen coming in. This will be a Falcons disc. Falcons here needing to work it back up the field. Chen picking up. Finding Chang. Chang looking up the sideline. A high disc.
Great grab from Stepanidis. Finds Win. Win getting it to Suji.
Looks like there is a call on the play or on the field. Disc going back one throw. So now we have Suji on the sideline with the disc. Most of the Falcons players behind Suji will probably be looking for a reset here.
Disc is in. Suji looking upfield. Good pressure defense from Super Bloom, but able to find Carnahan up line. Oh, Carnahan looks deep to try and connect with Stepanidis, but unable to hit those hands.
Yeah, beautiful crossfield look there from Carnahan, but now Super Bloom with a chance to score. Looks like we're on another long point here.
Hannah picking up on the trap sideline. Finds Alice on a big swing. Pajunas shooting deep to Savinsky. Oh, it looks like it's going to float.
Suji there to make sure
Oh,
to come. And a turnover. Iwamoto picking up, trying to get a quick chance.
Elimelech to Hallen. Super Bloom trying to move quickly. Oh, just an unfortunate. Looks like the wind grabbed that.
Yeah, popping it up.
Did its own thing. Chen picking up. Timeout called.
And now San Francisco Falcons timeout. Well timed. Another long point. The first long point, I feel, of this quarter.
Yeah, and this is the second time out of this point, correct?
I believe so.
That's right. Yeah, this is still a break chance for San Diego, but I guess Falcons with the disc now. Maybe need a personnel change or a little bit of a respite from all of that.
We saw a couple injuries out there on Super Bloom's side after some great efforts and bids by their players. Everyone else on the field, running their hardest, trying to get their team to punch in the score. We're seeing. Let's get a look at some of the plays at this point. Here we see Ellie Melick's shot.
McIntyre beautifully tracking that down.
To Ava Hannah, and then this is the trailing bid by McIntyre.
Oh, man.
Again, the impact, getting the disc out. And here we see the bobble that then is called out. Another bobble there by Ellie Melick on Bloom's side. And then we can also see how quickly Falcons are looking to pick up. Here we see Chen's shot, and it just gets eaten up. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these throws are just, the decisions are there. Mm-hmm. And we see that crossfield huck again. The decisions are there. The execution seems to be taking a hit because of the wind in both directions.
Yeah.
I think both teams, the players need to take a deep breath. Think about not just where they're trying to throw it, but how it needs to be thrown in this kind of wind. Looks like there is a violation called, so Falcons are getting a penalty all the way to their end zone.
Looks like 10 yards into the end zone.
Falcons going to be looking to get it out of their own end zone as quickly as possible. And Bloom, of course, hoping to get a D here that will put them on their own end zone line.
We see McIntyre back in.
Just under 3 minutes left in this quarter. 7-6 Bay Area. Looks like we're getting clarification on what the violation is. Falcons head coach asking the observers to clarify where this violation is stemming from. I believe it is a time violation. Observers are going to discuss. Yes, I believe it was a time violation on the timeout, the amount of time that the timeout was. I think so. All right, looks like that violation was overruled as the Falcons are walking back up.
Coach Sirianni really advocating for her team, making sure that the observers are making fair calls.
So Falcons will be picking up the disc at the place in the field where the timeout was originally called. There is no violation. We do have a pre-stall.
Carnahan finds Imanishi. Imanishi finds the open hands of Irheim, who swings it to Anderson. Oh, Anderson back, trying to find Carnahan, but disc pops up into the hands.
Lexi Zalt there.
Imanishi with the clutch grab there. Oh, and Zalt just streaking up the sideline.
Highlight point for Zalt there as she was able to scoop up that disc that popped up from Anderson to Carnahan, and then streaking deep to get the disc from Imanishi for the score. Super Bloom players walking out for an offensive point. That was quite a long point there.
Yeah.
Let's get a replay of that. We see the disc popping up just over the hands of Carnahan. Zalk there. And then this is Zalk receiving the disc for the score. I know that one of the keys of the game that Falcons coaching staff discussed before was swinging the disc, using the full width of the field. How do you feel that the team is executing that as we're nearing the end of the second quarter?
I mean, Falcons handlers really able to showcase their strong handler sets, and even in this strong wind, being able to connect with those swings is really important. I mean, I feel like that was a fluke there with that pop-up, but have been doing a pretty good job of using the width of the field. We got Ellis picking up on the side, walking it to the middle. Pull went out.
Pull landing out of bounds. Super Bloom cutters downfield setting up. Looks like Ellie Melick will be the active cutter with Winslow tight on her heels.
Ellis connecting with Ellen Melick. Ooh, who finds McIntyre able to work through that bobble. Dumps it back to Ellis. Ooh, Ellis with a cheeky break throw to Schultz, who lays out and manages to catch that. Another way out. Wow, Iwamoto.
Iwamoto finding Ellis for a clean hold by Super Bloom there. The Falcons were forcing backhand there, and we see that, as you said, cheeky throw inside backhand to Schultz. Schultz laying out to make sure to secure that disc, and then another bid by Iwamoto. Super Bloom making a lot of big plays here to maintain possession, try to keep those clean holds going for their offensive line.
I think this really bodes well. It's a good indicator for the Falcons defense for.
Let's take a quick look at that replay. Here we see that bobble. McIntyre making sure to hold onto it. And then this inside break from Ellis, and a great grab by Schultz, keeping it in. Another bid, classic Iwamoto bid. And then Iwamoto's looking and finding Ellis in the end zone. I think that's the second goal for Ellis. Normally in the backfield as a handler.
That's right.
And here we have
big pull from Hannah.
Carnahan picking up, finding Anderson.
Back to Carnahan. Carnahan looking upfield. Ops for Anderson said. Two of them working it. Able to find Cardenas. Cardenas shooting it deep. Ooh, great grab there from number 44, Hammer. A nice cross-field throw for the score to Stepanidis.
Completely uncontested there. Cross-field grab by Urheim from Hammer. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. And once again, clean hold by Falcons and a quick clean hold. Here's that replay. We see Carnahan getting it to Cardenas, who shoots it, and Hammer sliding, making sure to come down with that disc.
Great grab under pressure.
And then visionary cross-field flick, just floating perfectly into Urheim's hands.
Oh, excuse me. I misspoke. It was Urheim with the goal. Bay Area 9, San Diego 7. Looks like Elsa Winslow with the pull. Pull landing out of bounds. San Diego will take it in the middle of the field. Ellis jogging over.
As we are just under 1 minute here, San Diego needing to get a quick, decisive score.
Toss to Iwamoto, finds McIntyre. McIntyre back to Iwamoto, who shoots it deep to Elimelech in double coverage. Oh, unable to reel it in. Uh-oh, Elimelech down on the play.
Looks like an injury was called, taking a moment on the field.
Making that bid through traffic, kind of to just jump up and grab that disc.
Let's take a quick look at that shot. Iwamoto putting it up to double coverage. Elimelech just missing it, and then I believe the Falcons player, when Elimelech was coming down, she landed a little bit on the Falcons player, walking it off.
We've got Hallen coming in for Elimelech. Falcons disc at their goal line. We've got Meaty Chang picking up for the Falcons.
42 seconds left. Falcons want to maintain possession here for end of the quarter score.
Good handler defense from McIntyre, but Meaty Chang able to grab it. Back to Pugh. Pugh looking upfield. Able to connect with Eliza Chang. Looking like a big shot. Oh, and a huge, huge block from Abby Schultz.
Great defensive pressure all around from
10
Super
seconds
Blue.
left. Looks like a call in the field.
I believe it was a foul or contact call as the Pajuna's picking up the disc. Falcons player running through. Observer coming in to help mediate. Super Bloom looking to capitalize here. 10 seconds on the clock. Timeout called.
That's a good call with 5 seconds left on the clock. Nothing really materializing downfield in the end zone for Super Bloom, and I think that's the right call by the coaches.
Yeah, definitely. They want to get a red zone look out there, get their key offensive players on the line, and make sure that they score this with time expired, so Falcons have no opportunity for a response, and then that way they go into the second half 9-8. Let's get a replay of that last play here. We see it pop up, and Schultz just reading that perfectly.
Almost a good second attempt there by Winslow.
Yeah, Winslow making a great first and second attempt to hold on to it, and here we see Super Bloom with the disc just before their timeout.
Blue card given to number 8 for that play there.
Interesting. All right, we see on the field we have Super Bloom offense is set, and the Falcons are getting on the line to set their defensive players.
Looks like we've got Ella Malik back on the field after that injury. Good to see her there. Great coverage. But able to find Pajunas. That's the end of the half. Oh. Wow.
Amazing job here. So what you just saw was Pajunas with the buzzer running out, throwing it to Deanna Abrams. Deanna Abrams, it's just outside of her reach, and Rebecca Ellis, not known for her bids, laying out to secure that disc.
Wow.
This is quite the game for Ellis. Again, one of the notable players that was missing.
Yes,
here
absolutely.
We see Iwamoto picking up, faking off Ellie Malik, finding a huge bid from Pajunas. Pajunas looking, time expired, lefty backhand. Abrams bidding as well, but it's Ellis who's able to save that disc.
Huge possession and score for Super Bloom. We're at 9-8 now. Super Bloom able to step in on the lead a little bit from San Francisco.
We see Ellis there on camera celebrating.
Man, is that her third goal?
I believe so. Third goal. Maybe Ellis should look at a career as a hybrid.
A hybrid, yeah.
Backfield, upfield. But as you were saying, that was a huge point for Super Bloom. Maybe some of that energy from the home field crowd and our pep band helping to fire up the team as we're going into the second half. Bay Area still up 9-8. Bay Area having an amazing first half. A lot of clean holds. Their offensive line really tearing it up, working their way downfield. But we are seeing Super Bloom slowly but surely climbing their way back, playing their game, making sure that they are putting on defensive pressure and then really showing out for their offensive chances. All right, we will see you when we get back. Again, 9-8 going into half to the Bay Area. Let's see how they do when we get back.
By establishing professional teams and developing future generations of players.
We believe players of all identities and backgrounds deserve an equal opportunity to be recognized and lauded for our achievements in our sport.
We believe in sustainably and responsibly creating equitable and accessible avenues for women and non-binary athletes to join and participate in our sport.
We believe that being transparent,
open,
and responsive to criticism is critical,
and that there should always be space
to fix our mistakes, grow,
and be better.
We are the Western Ultimate League.
Hello and welcome back to the Western Ultimate League presenting the Bay Area Falcons versus San Diego Super Bloom. It has been quite an exciting half. We are going into the second half. Bay Area 9, San Diego 8. Let's take a look at some of those huge plays that we have seen from the first half. Here we go. Falcons, again, they are doing such a good job of reading the disc, making sure they are the ones there to come down with the disc. Here we see Iwamoto. Huge shots from Iwamoto is what we're expecting, but really it's Ellis who has been
showing out this game.
Absolutely. Game. 3 goals for a handler. Oh, a great grab there by Anderson.
In traffic.
Definitely want to highlight number 1 on Falcons. Carnahan has been really a pivotal player, moving the disc up the field, and also just a trusty receiver. But Super Bloom making sure that they have responses, as we're seeing here. Pajunas with the disc, putting it up, and Ellis.
Another Ellis. This is the Ellis highlight reel we've got going on.
Rebecca Ellis highlight reel for Super Bloom. And here we have Hammer with an amazing shot to Maru. Falcons are just having a great offensive game, along with a very well-pressured defensive game. Here we see another grab by Falcons, Bay Area Falcons, just over the hands of Bloom. Both teams doing an amazing job of putting pressure on these plays, and it has really just made it an exciting game for us watching in stand and also at home.
Absolutely.
Huge bid here.
Man, that's a bummer. I think that a big difference between this game and the previous game where these two teams showed off is definitely the personnel changes. I think we've seen a lot of huge bids and plays by people who were missing, like Iwamoto in the last game. But Ellis, of course, Alice highlight reel part 3. So I think San Diego is really able to kick off this game strong. I know the last time they faced off, San Diego went down quite a few points against the Bay Area.
Yeah. And Bay Area here talking about before the game, talking with the coaching staff, they are making a point to play this in preparation. And here's this is the last possession of the second half. Huge point by Bloom, just off the hands of Abrams, and then Ellis with the layout grab. Like we said, it is a Super Bloom Ellis highlight reel.
Good spirit from Wynn there, saying it was up, recognizing a good play when it's there.
And as we saw the celebration there, huge celebration by Ellis for a key point for Bloom, and we see Iwamoto passing off a hat for Ellis to spike. And those are, of course, college teammates turned club teammates turned semi-pro. Co-coaches turned semi-pro teammates. And that is a lot of the personnel on Bloom, at least, who were missing in the last game. Those are players who have been playing together for many years, who have that intuitive sense of handler movement from each other. And now, Ellis in the downfield, also that, as well as Pajunas here, a really crucial voice on the field for Super Bloom. I'm sure many players are feeling a lot more comfortable with having these kinds of players back on the field, helping direct the motion of the play. And Bay Area Falcons here, really treating this as a primer for champ weekends and showing what they can do on offense and defense. Their defense has been stifling. Bloom having struggled to get clean holds in the first half, with the Bay Area Falcons having a slight edge on the clean holds they were able to clinch in the first half. I think they are really showing not just this conference, but the entire league, what they're going to bring in 2 weeks in Colorado.
Yeah, this will be an exciting matchup to see who takes that number 1 seed spot, who takes the number 2 seed spot.
Yes, again, both these teams have clinched their spot in the champ weekend, and this game is for seeding and for pride.
Winslow with the pull. Oh, landing in, but rolling out. Bloom will have to take it on the sideline.
We see Avery Jones there for Bloom. Not rostered this game. Resting. Helping bring that disc back in for Bloom. Ellis to Ellie Mellick.
Ellie Mellick looking upfield to Schultz. Oh, who can't quite grab it in.
Quick pickup there by Bay Area Falcons. Getting it over to Meaty Chang. Meaty Chang
trying to find Pugh. Pugh able to make a grab in traffic. Back to Meaty Chang. Meaty Chang looking upfield. Not able to make a connection. Do with the swing. Got number 16 Chang back. Bile able to just track that down and knock it over. Looking for
Bile with
McQuaid.
2 hands there saying big dog's gotta eat, and getting that block to give Bloom a chance again. This is a hold for them.
Iwamoto catches Bile in the center of the field. Bile looking to dump, but good pressure from Falcons. Ellis finds McIntyre. McIntyre looking deep to Elimelech. Being patient. Their handler finds Ellis again. Ellis looking for Iwamoto. Iwamoto finds Schultz open in the middle of the field. Schultz to Elimelech. Elimelech to Bile, who catches it in the end zone for a goal.
It looks like observers are calling this goal. There was a little bit of conversation from Falcons, but they observers confirming that was a goal by Bile. And
that's bookends for Bile, correct?
Yes, it is. Bile there with the block to get Bloom their chance at a hold again, and then making sure it's a hold by scoring.
We're all tied up. This is exciting.
Here we see that first turn, just again right outside the hand. Schultz making a great effort, and then immediate pickup by Falcons, really doing a great job of looking for those fast break opportunities, but a big block by Bile there. I think we're seeing, off of this first point here, Super Bloom is once again settling into taking the first open throw and making sure that what they are showing out is 100% connections once they got that disc back. And now we have the Bay Area Falcons O-line out to show us what they got.
Carnahan with the disc. Finds Donahue, I believe. Back to Anderson. Anderson to Hanchen. Finds Suchi on the sideline. Connecting with Kara Hammer.
Falcons really punching it up this sideline.
Oh, wow. Juan in traffic, able to kind of distract the number 26.
It looks like that was actually 22 Falcons player 22 Zalk in the end zone with the opportunity to score, but with the pressure from Bloom, just bobbles. Oh, ooh. And an immediate poach grab by Chen, and Falcons are back knocking on the door.
Zalk again with the disc to Hammer, who shoots it into the end zone for a very, very open number 22,
and
Alexis
that
Zalk.
Was a second chance score for Zalk there. Saying,
was that bookends for Zalk?
Yeah. Chen got the poach grab on this. But yes, Zalk had an opportunity there, didn't quite make it, said, hey, let me try again. And able to score, and we are back to Bay Area 10, San Diego 9. Let's see what the Super Bloom O-line will offer.
Good nail biter there.
Amazing defensive pressure there by Juan. We are seeing, these are both we're in the semi-pros, folks. These are highly athletic teams. The defensive pressure on both sides just really pushing these throws to need to be as precise and accurate as possible. And with the wind also factoring in, that is making it for quite the contentious game.
Absolutely. Falcons with the pull. Picking up for Super Bloom is Iwamoto. Iwamoto looking upfield. Finds Bile. Bile back to Iwamoto. Ooh, a little fluttery throw.
That was actually a foot block by
wow.
Du. I think she got a foot on that.
Wow.
But yes, able to keep it grabbed, and Bile speeding down into the end zone.
Beautiful
for
throw.
The score. Like I said, high intensity defensive pressure there from Falcons.
Yeah.
I think I hope we get a replay of that.
Foot block? I missed it. I thought it was a missed throw.
But Bloom able to bring it back to the tied score. Really looking now on this D-line to get a break. Let's get that foot block. We see Iwamoto and then Du just sticking a
huge
little
extension.
foot. Fun fact, both of them are UCSD alumni. And then Bile reading that, just perfect deep cut for that score there. Speedy, hard one to cover. But Eliza
impressive.
Chang right there still.
Yes, most definitely. I think Falcons are going to bring up the excitement for sure, because they've really been really close on a lot of these chances. And, as the game goes, into the last quarter, folks are going to get tired, and these second effort catches may not always work out.
Hannah, for the pull, this is an important defensive point for Super Bloom, trying to get that break, trying to get up on Bay Area Falcons. Here we go, Carnahan with the disc.
Chen cutting upfield, finds Anderson. Back to Carnahan. Carnahan hits the hands of number 42, excuse me. Win boosting it upfield.
Two
a lot of options.
Bay Area
wow.
cutters in the just outside the end zone. Observers calling it out, but Chen there.
Erheim to Chen.
Wow, as we can see on the screens there, that shot deep there was to two pretty open Falcons receivers, and Bloom did have a chance to close in as the throw popped up, but Falcons making sure to get hands on that, and then scoring from Erheim to Chen.
Great focus from Erheim to really track that down. I think not an easy read for sure. Let's take a look at the trajectory of that disc.
Yeah, and that is Yuan throwing it up the sideline, Wynn catching it a little bit. Falcons making sure to get the score. Another quick offensive point there. As we were saying, the Bloom is trying to generate break chances. They're trying to get some breaks scored, but Falcons really making that difficult for them.
Really
Their
hard.
O-line is just so clean.
Ellis picking up the disc at the sideline. Ooh, a low throw, able to be picked up by Schultz.
Schultz going to the ground to make sure that's caught. To Ellie Melick.
Fighting Ellie Melick. Oh, Bile not able to grab that.
Looks like we got an injury called here. Bile gonna, ran through the sideline, gonna take a breather here.
Looks like Pagina's coming in for Bile.
That is quite a sub in there.
Right, defensive powerhouse.
Which is exactly what Bloom needs now that Falcons are going to try to get this break opportunity, capitalize on it. Here we go, Chen with a disc.
Good backfield handler defense. But Pugh able to get free.
Yeah, smartly reading that poach by Ellis and making sure to get it open for Chen.
Chen looking in the backfield, trying to find a handler to dump it to.
Whoa.
A huge pop-up. Pugh able to focus and pull that in.
A lot of amazing grabs out here. This wind making a highlight reel for these players on the field. Ooh, big holster by Chen there.
Big layout from Iwamoto.
Bigger layout now Iwamoto reading what Chen wanted and making sure to put her body on the field to get Bloom another chance.
That's exciting.
You can really feel both teams are really working here, trying to show that they're the ones that are going to come out on top. Looks like
stall called on Ellis.
Stall called. Ellis going to observers, contesting the stall. And it looks like stall will be upheld.
No, not a stall. So
not
the disc goes down because the disc is where the disc landed.
Here we go. Chen picking up.
Oh, a great grab under pressure there from Maru. Looking dump. Finds Pugh. Beautiful swing to Winslow, who looks upfield. Finds Meaty Chang, who looks upfield to number 19, Stepanitis. Going deep to find McQuaid. Can McQuaid track it down? Yes! Great grab from McKinley McQuaid in the end zone.
And that is a break.
Wow.
Bay Area now up to 12-10 on San Diego.
What do you think Coach is saying right now from Super Bloom?
For Super Bloom? I don't know. That Super Bloom had good movement there in the beginning. It looks like we're getting a little caught up by the wind. Here we see Schiltz going to the ground, making sure to hold on to that disc. This is Ellie Melik, right to Bile, and just off of the hands of Bile. You know, the players are, I feel like, where they want to be in that huge block by Iwamoto. Bloom is working. They're working to get it back when they need to. I think we're just seeing a few execution errors that are being capitalized amazingly by Falcons. Just the speed at which they are picking up the disc and moving it, it's outpacing what Bloom can do on these turns, on some of these turns.
Absolutely. It was a beautiful pull from the Falcons. Right on the sideline, Iwamoto trapped there. Able to swing it and find Yuishi, who connects with Ava Hanna. Going upfield. Oh, wow. A huge block there from number 8, Wang. Meaty Chang picking up the disc on the sideline.
Ishii on the mark.
Imanishi under pressure. Back to Meaty Chang. Back to Imanishi. Looking upfield. Oh, a great look there. Chang to Meaty Chang. Eliza Chang to Meaty Chang, I think.
Yeah, that is right. That was another break for Bay Area.
That's right.
Here we see Hannah's deep put, but a big block by Wang there. Looks like it just didn't go as high as maybe wanted. And then, I've said it many times, I'll say it again. Falcons are just taking they're doing an amazing job of capitalizing on these break chances. They are picking up the disc right away, and they are moving it as fast as possible for the score. Sometimes it does result in a turn, but more often than not, we are seeing they are getting the score on these break chances.
Absolutely. The offense has really been effective on this in this game, and I think we're going to see Super Bloom really start to pull out some strong lines to make sure that they're able to claw back this lead.
Definitely. 13-10, Bay Area pulling to San Diego.
Huge pull from Donahue. Nicely landing in the sideline. Ava Hanna to pick up. Looking dump, finds Ellis.
Cutter's a little deep for the handlers, getting pushed back.
Schiltz now with the disc. The far sideline to Bile. Good to see her back. Who connects with Hallen? Hallen on the far sideline, looking upfield. Shoots it up deep for Helm, who can't track it down.
Feels like it might have been a higher stall put, a smart decision if so. Get it out, do a deep shot, and Helm there trying to run it down. But now we have Falcons with the break opportunity.
Pugh with the disc, looking deep to Do. Do finds Erheim, I believe. Excuse me, Donahue. Ellis able to track down that popped up disc.
This is Rebecca Ellis's world. We're all just living in it.
Hannah to Schultz. Knocking at the end zone now, Super Bloom. Ooh, unable to connect there.
A miscommunication there. And Falcons with a chance to work it up the field. This
Due to Pugh. Oh, and almost a huge layout there from Helm. Donahue able to reel it in. Donahue looking upfield now. Able to find Stephanitis. To Pugh again. A beautiful upwind deep huck. Oh, wow, that was stunning. Eliza Chang to number 26, Julia Mankoff. Visionary throw. Just floating it into the end zone. I mean, that's just a stunning break point by Bay Area Falcons.
Yeah, Bay Area Falcons really able to get the disc moving. And then for the score, here we see that high shot. Ellis coming with those basketball hops, comes down with it, but then Falcons get that chance back.
Oh, near bid.
Big defensive pressure from Super Bloom. And Falcons just really playing cool under pressure, finding their open players. And I got to say, those last two players on that break chance were very open.
They were pretty open. Win with the pull. Nice roller, Iwamoto picking up in the center.
Pagino's immediately out of the front of the stack.
Alamelik for massive gainer. Able to connect with Savinsky. Savinsky looking upfield. Coverage there. Oh, just a missed throw to Zetner, looks like. Another break chance for the Bay Area. Carnahan shooting deep. Savinsky, oh, just over the fingertips, connecting.
That's
with Win.
Jacqueline Yun with the disc again, getting it over to Midi Chang. Midi Chang faking off.
Ooh, the disc pops up, but Falcons in the area. Able to reel it in. To Cardenas, who connects with Carnahan. Wow, that's another break for the Falcons.
Falcons
oh my
are
goodness.
going on a break train
it's a train.
Right now.
You know, I have to say the Falcons have really been playing team offense and team defense. When the disc pops up, you'll see absolutely a Falcons player is there to kind of pick up the trash. And
if not one, at least two or three.
Yeah, in that case, there were a couple of Falcon folks in the area ready to collect.
And I think that's an adjustment that the Falcons have been making that Bloom might want to try adjusting as well for the wind, is that consider the fact that the disc will pop up.
Exactly.
Make sure your players are being heads up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I say that, but Bloom has been heads up. They have also been able to come down with some of these pop-up discs. I think it's just right now Falcons are on fire, and they do not look like they are going to let up anytime soon.
Yep.
And we have just under 2 minutes left with Falcons on the pull.
Donahue, big pull. Wow, that's a nice one. Smith, the WUL in the middle, finds Ava Hanna. Ava Hanna swings it. Oh, to WUL, who unable to grab it. Falcons disc now very close to the end zone. Great positioning for them.
What is this? Break chance number 5?
Might be. Han Chen swings it to Pugh. Pugh looking upfield.
Tight defense in the backfield by Bloom.
Pugh able to connect with Han Chen. Oh, an inside, beautiful look, but Ava Hanna, massive layup block on the inside. They have a hand it to Hallen, who shoots it deep, trying to find Lexus Stamba. Wow, but Donahue just totally able to track that down. Donahue to Chen. Chen to Donahue. Oh, and a timeout called by the Falcons. Wow. Yeah, that's all I can say right now.
Yeah, wow. This has been quite an extraordinary break train that Bay Area Falcons have taken. They are now up 15-10 in the third quarter with just under a minute left. But Bloom doing everything they can to earn the disc back, and they are making huge plays. You know, let's get a replay right now. We see Hannah getting it to WUL, and it's just off the hands. Again, we've said that so many times, just off the hands, and then a big block, layout block by Ava
extension,
Hannah.
wow.
Full extension, so casual after, and Hallen with that deep shot. It unfortunately gets carried right into the hands of the Falcons. And we are seeing a timeout by the Falcons as they are getting ready for another break opportunity here. Bloom doing a good job. Bloom doing a great job here of putting pressure on, making big defensive plays, and moving the disc when they are on offense. It just seems like there are some execution and miscommunication errors happening, and Falcons are punishing them for every opportunity that they get on break.
Looks like San Diego's come out in his zone here. Wow.
And it works, generating a D. Bloom back with the disc, taking no time to move it.
Alamelec looking to the end zone. Finds Iwamoto for a great upline. Swings it to Hallen. Hallen finds Hannah. Super Bloom at the doorstep. Iwamoto for the dump and finds a wide open Hallen.
Bloom really needed that.
I think that is they're probably breathing a big sigh of relief there. Yeah, I think they really needed that stop.
Yeah, a great defensive look by Bloom out of that timeout. They said, yeah, okay, take that timeout, Falcons. We're going to come out in a zone, and we're going to cause problems for your offense. And they generated that turn and then made sure to get that score as fast as possible. And so now, and that's I think we're seeing this intensity has been growing with Bloom as the game continues. You know, a little shaky in the first quarter, but now they are really pushing on offense, making sure, you know, they trust each other out on that field. They want to make sure that they get these scores and these break opportunities, and they're trusting each other to be in the right spot to make these throws.
Definitely. 23 seconds left in the quarter. We've got Alamelec with the pole.
15-11. Bay Area, here we go.
For the big pole.
Chen with the disc to Carnahan. Back to Chen. Back to Carnahan. It's good downfield defense from the Bloom. Chen looking for a dump. Able to connect with Carnahan. Win with the first upfield grab of the point.
Time expired, so Bay Area end with a goal or a turn.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be a goal.
That's amazing.
After a great defensive pressure there by Super Bloom, Cardenas able to come down with a disc not originally intended for her for a score at the end of the quarter. That is the end of third quarter, and we are going into it 16 Bay Area Falcons, 11 San Diego Super Bloom, after the Falcons went on quite a run this third quarter. They came out of the second half and they said, this is our game.
jump on the train. We are leaving the station.
What do you think is the kind of discussion that Super Bloom coaching staff might be having during this huddle before the fourth and final quarter?
I mean, it really feels like some of the drops and the bobbles have been out of Super Bloom's control, but sometimes I think the Falcons have been just doing a better job of capitalizing on those. Super Bloom needs to really focus, and all the players need to really like try and make sure that these discs are hitting open hands, playing fundamentals, making sure that, you know, they're taking the easy option, because this game is tough. Legs are tired. We're in the fourth quarter now, and you know, they're down 5 points with 12 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. Echoing all those points, and we will find out how this fourth and final quarter will go when we get back from break. And welcome back. We are about to head into the fourth quarter of this game. Bay Area Falcons against San Diego Super Bloom. If you are liking what you are seeing, please consider scanning this QR code or going over to the Western Ultimate League site and donating. Please support women's sports if you want to continue to see such amazing athletic plays by these athletes on this field and going into Champ Weekend as well. Your donations are what we need in order to get this kind of caliber of play from the teams in the Western Ultimate League.
Absolutely. And if you're enjoying the live streams, which we publish on YouTube for free, please do, again, consider donating. You'll get to hear from me and Jory again next game as well. Next season, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Everything available. All games that have happened already are still available and free on the Western Ultimate League YouTube channel, brought to you by your donations and any support provided to these teams. And we are on the poll. San Diego polling to Bay Area Falcons, final quarter.
Carnahan with the disc, finds Chen. Super Bloom with a little bit of a junk look here. Zone. No problem, though, for Chen Carnahan. But Imanishi with the big save there. Carnahan back to the center. Got Cardenas on the sideline, finding Carnahan again. Able to find Zalk. Zalk looking upfield now. Back to Zalk. Finding an open Carnahan up line. Cardenas back to Chen. Super Bloom into person defense now. Wow. That's a clean hold, right, from Falcons?
Yes, that is another clean hold from Falcons right out of the start of the quarter. It is something that we have seen many times throughout this game. Falcons O-line showing us what they will be bringing to Champ Weekend in Colorado, no matter who they face.
Yes, I think that San Diego did do a good job of trying to break things up with the zone that they threw at the beginning. Had a couple of missed throws there from Falcons, but they were able to kind of keep it going. But ultimately, the handlers are pretty strong from the Falcons.
And one of those handlers, Han Chen, was also a notable absence in the last time that these two teams saw each other. Han Chen was not on that Bay Area Falcons roster, and I think has been making quite a difference in terms of opening up the shots available to this Bay Area Falcons offensive line, and I'm sure the Falcons are glad to have her back on the field.
Winslow with a pull. Great pull back to the end line of San Diego. Ishii to Hannah. Hannah no mark, looking upfield to Rutland. Rutland connects with an open Juan. Want to WUL, who finds Ishii. Good downfield defense from Falcons. Super Bloom having to use their handlers a lot. Ishii to Hannah.
Looks like we're seeing a bit of a forced middle look from Falcons here, really clogging up.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow, what a huge layout save by Ishii. Ishii shooting it deep. Oh, but unable to connect with Juan. A great block by Winslow.
Former roommate of Ishii's there.
Oh,
probably reading that throw.
We got Midi Chang with the disc.
Looks like there might be a call, foul, no contest on the mark there. Midi Chang coming in with a 0 count.
Due for the dump. Finds Pugh. Able to connect with McQuaid. Looking deep. Finds Stephanitis, who shoots it to Winslow. Able to track that down. Wow. And that's bookends for Winslow.
Yes, yeah. Winslow with the block there, and then zipping down to the end zone to receive that disc. Bookends, and now Bay Area pulling out in the lead, 17-11.
Oh, massive block there. But a save, like, out of a... Well, you got, my goodness, a beautiful save from Ishii.
And there's that block from Winslow. Quite the put from Ishii. Crossfield there. But Winslow now shown here, grabbing that goal, sprinting, no one in sight.
Wow.
No other Falcons, no other Bloom players. It's just Winslow in the end zone.
A big pull from Donahue again. We're off 17-11, Bay Area, San Diego. Iwamoto to Pajunas, but a little bit behind. Pajunas unable to reel it in. A pick called.
Pick called, looks like it is involved. Play will continue. This stays where it is.
Chang with the disc. Looking dump. Oh, unable to catch.
Overshoots Chang, and now Iwamoto for Bloom.
Ooh, a little bit too wide there for Schultz. Bay Area disc again. Pugh now with the disc.
This is a break opportunity for Falcons.
Injury called. Looks like Donahue's limping off.
Might be a cramp. Again, Falcons coming off of a game last night. Their players flying into San Diego from Phoenix after a very close win over Arizona Sidewinders.
Yeah, this fourth quarter you might start to see some of the fatigue set in. Been doing pretty well so far, though. Pugh looking to break. Good swing. Finds Eliza Chang. Back to Midi Chang. Able to hit Elsa Winslow. Working through some of the contact.
This goes back because foul was called.
Winslow to Chang. Chang looking upfield. Able to collect with Eliza Chang. Another pick called.
Big call. The calls are coming out now.
Yeah, as we're going into this fourth quarter, we might see that fatigue setting in, as well as some more calls as players are tired, might be crossing each other's paths a little more.
Good uplight from Yi Chang, looking deep. Foul called on the field.
Stoppage of play on the field because it was a foul called.
Meaty Chang to Pugh. Ooh, who's able to reel that one in.
Big backhand across the field from Pugh.
Looking upfield. Pugh's there. Pugh looking to get to the middle of the field. Able to hit Winslow.
Almost nice coaching there from you, Moto. Pressure's ratcheting up here for Super Bloom.
Oh, Winslow able to grab that with the heads-up play. Maru, Chang, Maru again.
UN
Back to
for
win.
the reset.
Eliza Chang with a huge break throw
And
to
another
Winslow.
goal for Winslow.
Wow.
And that is a break for Bay Area. We're seeing Falcons out there celebrating on the field, and Super Bloom putting their next line out, keeping their heads up. This is a large lead by Bay Area Falcons over San Diego Super Bloom, but I would not discount Super Bloom at all. This is a roster with a lot of depth and a lot of grit. So let's see how they respond to the lead that Bay Area Falcons have set.
Let's see that goal from Winslow again here.
Winslow really making a lot of important cuts in this point.
Yeah, she's really showing out against her former team, right? Winslow, a former San Diego Super Bloom player who battled through some injuries last season, but was a part of the roster.
Yeah, doing an amazing job today, playing for Bay Area Falcons.
Falcons with the pull. WUL picking up to Ava Hanna. Ava Hanna finds an open Zentner. Zentner back to Hanna, who finds Abrams. Abrams hits Stambaugh. Back to Abrams, who shoots it deep. Hallen is there. Oh, just over the fingertips of Danica Hallen.
I like that decision from Abrams. I think that was, you see a cutter in the deep space, not a close defender. I think that was the right shot to take. It was just maybe a little unexpected for Hallen. Falcons with their break chance now.
That's Zalk with the disc. Finds Carnahan on the sideline. Hitting Erheim.
Massive
there's
shot from Erheim.
Suji can track it down. Wow. In the goal, Suji.
Something about the Falcons roster is they have a ton of speedy cutters.
Yes.
As well as, amazing handlers. But their cutters are always a threat in the deep space. So a great throw from Erheim there. And we see that shot from Abrams just over the hands of Hallen.
Hallen maybe not expecting it to
then
be
in
come
return,
backhand.
That deep shot by Erheim and Ali Suji, with Juan making up a good amount of ground to pressure that.
Absolutely. Another thing about the Falcons that I've noticed is they have a lot of really strong hybrids. Erheim is really one of their strong cutters and was able to throw that beautiful look into the end zone for a connection with Suji. And I think that's really what sets good teams apart from, the rest is players are able to play multiple roles in games where they need to. Falcons with the pull. Ellis picking up for San Diego Super Bloom. Looking upfield is going to huck it to Pajunas, who's there. Oh, and a huge bid from Pajunas, unable to pull it in.
Yeah, working against that defensive pressure from Winslow. I know that's one of the matchups that Falcons was looking to put. How do you shut down Pajunas? And Winslow holding her own. Still a massive bid from Pajunas to try to reel in that. Falcons with their break chance.
Pugh with the disc. Hits an open Eliza Chang. Oh, and Iwamoto with another poach block. Wow. Able to hit Ellen Melick with another bid.
Quite the dive by
in the
Ellie
end
Melick.
zone. That's awesome.
A much-needed morale score
Yes.
for Super Bloom there.
Absolutely.
Bringing them up to 12 to Bay Area's 19. What do you think are some adjustments that Super Bloom is going to be bringing in the rest of this quarter?
You know, I'm going to say, I've said this before, but clock management is going to be important. We've got 4.5 minutes left in the quarter. These points are have been taking a really long time, and I think Super Bloom needs to start thinking about scoring quickly so that they can increase the likelihood of being able to come back from this deficit. Oh, there's that huge grab from Bajunas. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like that disc just like sailed. It was a bit zippier than expected and sailed, but then we had this another huge bid, this time for the score by Ellie Melik after Iwamoto's very smart heads-up poach D.
Absolutely. I feel like Iwamoto kind of baited that layout for Ellie Melik.
I wouldn't doubt it.
For
Smart
the highlight
player.
reel, right? Hanchen to Carnahan. Carnahan to Cardenas. Cardenas to Win. Win to Imanishi. Back to Win. Oh. A beautiful offensive look from the Falcons to Kara Hammer for the score.
That was an immediate score by the Falcons.
Might have been a 15-second score there.
Yeah. The Super Bloom setting the pull out, and then Falcons just up. Forward throw, forward throw, forward throw. I don't think they had to reset or swing that once.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show that I think they're a strong defense by Falcons on the whole, but really their forward offensive motion is what is deciding their lead in this game.
Looks like just open side all the way through. Good on the Falcons for taking what's open and just playing good, clean offense here.
Just over 4 minutes left. Bay Area 21, San Diego 12.
Julia Mankoff with the pull. A roller goes to the sideline. Rebecca Alice picking up with Pew on the mark. Shoots it deep.
I've seen this play before.
Pajunas.
This time, Pajunas with the perfect grab for the score. Ellis to Pajunas.
That's that clock management. Super Bloom really just taken one throw, I think, to make that score, and that's really smart. They're trying to be efficient and using the clock appropriately.
Here we go. We see Ellis picking up, looking, waiting for Pajunas to get that separation. And even with two defenders in the area, Pajunas looking as sure as ever that disc is hers for the score. You see on screen here our UCSD pep band. Thank you so much for coming out and playing at our game. It really brings a great energy to the sideline, and we can also see Poppy there off to the side. I don't know if that's on your screen, but taking up that energy as well as Super Bloom pulls to the Falcons.
Ellie Melik with a nice pull. Han Chen picking up and centering to Carnahan, who finds Anderson.
Looks like we have a junky defense here from Super Bloom.
Cardenas on the wing. Anderson with a good upline. And Suji with the quick reflexes there.
Bit of a wobble, but Cardenas able to reel it in. Oh, and
Hammer
big throw.
Wow.
Suji in the end zone.
Hammer to Suji. Wow, that was a great look. I mean, they were able to shred that zone pretty quickly.
Yeah, Super Bloom coming out with a different defensive look, probably hoping to stifle those forward throws that we were talking about earlier from the Falcons offense. But they were able to find the holes in it, work it up, and then once they were past, just that big, beautiful shot from Hammer to Suji in the end zone.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. Here we see that junk defense. Falcons offense just looking, how do we get past this? Once they do, they're off to the races. Suji here. Close call there, but Cardenas making sure that is secured, and then Hammer, even though it feels like Suji was just back there throwing it, is actually in the end zone to catch that score.
It's casual. It's casual from Suji. Bay Area 22, San Diego 13. Here's the pull.
Super Bloom's O-line getting down there.
We'll see Iwamoto with the pickup. Looks like a junk look from Falcons.
Falcons said, we can do junk too. And Bloom saying,
Ishii in the center of the field.
we know how to break through.
Iwamoto to Zettner. Yes. Back to Iwamoto, who looks off the hammer. Ishii in traffic, able to reel it in. Oh my goodness.
Dive, roll.
Wow.
Iwamoto on the ground, diving, rolling,
Huge grab from Iwamoto. We saw Midi Chang right there. Impressive grab by Iwamoto, but Midi Chang right there, almost able to get the D.
Honestly, quite a throwing decision from Ishii there, saying, even though Midi Chang is in the inside lane here, I'm going to throw this up, put it just outside of the reach of the defender, and Iwamoto diving, rolling, scoring for Bloom. And here we see the movement of Bloom going through the junk look that Falcons put out. There's that hammer fake from Iwamoto. Ishii running through, and here's that throw. As we see Iwamoto going. Amazing, safe landing. That's how you land and make sure that there's no injury called. Now we have Falcons offense with the disc.
Carnan with the disc to Anderson. Looking upfield. Oh my goodness, a huge block by Deanna Abrams.
And a bid. What else can Abrams do this point?
Abrams swinging to the center to WUL, who finds Hallen. Hallen to Ellis.
Can she score?
Oh no, unfortunate. Man, just a misconnection looks like between Ellis and Abrams.
Abrams coming out with that defensive fire, getting the block, diving, almost scoring, but now Falcons back on offense.
We got Chen. Corner of the end zone. Carnahan unable to get it. Oh, a good grab from Wynn. Looking dump. Chen with the disc. Able to find Imanishi, a huge grab. Back to Wynn. Back to Chen. Finds Hammer. Back to Chen again. Who big swing to Carnahan. Oh, unable to get it though.
Savinsky knocking it down.
No Falcons in that area to scoop that one up, surprisingly this time. Samantha WUL picking up the disc on the sideline.
Super Bloom Cutters looking a little deep there. I imagine the coaches were feeling something similar as offensive coach Carlo Mosca calling a timeout to get something set up for an offensive point with just under a minute left. This is a break chance for San Diego. I think energy-wise, this point would be really important for San Diego just to prove that they can come back. They can score some breaks as well. And so coaching staff just calling in a huddle, calling in the right personnel to make sure that this is scored for Bloom.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll set the right tone if Super Bloom can punch it in.
There's that huge block from Abrams. And then we see that disc just sailing high over Carnahan.
Savinsky making sure that doesn't fly into Falcons' hands by mistake.
I imagine Falcons are feeling quite comfortable with the lead that they have right now. But Bloom is definitely not going to be giving up any more points without a fight as they play their game, play their strat, and work through whatever kinks they might have on the field ahead of Champ Weekend.
Looks like some personnel change here from the offense. Iwamoto to Hannah. Back to Iwamoto in the center. Ishii picking up a low disc to Pajunas, who shoots it deep. Schultz tracking it down. In traffic. Oh, unable to reel it in. A great team. Again, I think that was a kind of a team D by Falcons. I think ultimately McQuaid ending up knocking it down. We got Meaty Chan to Stepanitis. Stepanitis with the disc, back to Chang. Falcons able to connect in a lot of traffic. Bile able with the block. Huge block from Meredith Bile.
We have just under 10 seconds left here. Break chance for San Diego. Will they close out this game with a break? Yes, they will!
Wow.
Meredith Bile for the last score of this game. And that's a break. But Bay Area Falcons coming out on top with a decisive victory of 22-15 in their last regular season game for both these teams, actually, as they are both heading into Champ Weekends in 2 weeks in Colorado. Falcons with the #1 seeding after this win, and going into the Champ Weekend either facing Colorado or Utah. I believe with this win, they are now set to probably face Colorado in their first game, or is it Utah? We'll find out. What an amazing game full of huge plays on both sides by Super Bloom and the Falcons.
Yes, I believe we will find out who they will be facing off with at 4 o'clock when Utah and the Wild play.
That's right.
Utah and Colorado play because they both have the same. I think they're both with the same record as well. Both having 3-3 records. So that game will also decide who fights for the first seed for that conference.
That is correct. So please tune in 2 weeks for Champ Weekend. Thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all the volunteers and our observers. Let's take a look at the Discraft play of the game. Speaking of sponsors, Discraft, one of our sponsors. Here we go.
What do you think it's going to be?
Play of the game. It's Iwamoto with the disc. Do you remember which one this is? Big grab by Pajunas. But it's this. The save by Ellis. It's hard to pick a play of the game with all the huge plays that happen.
Man, that was huge.
Let's see.
Here's a hat spike. Here's a hat spike.
There's a hat spike. Give your teammate a hat if they don't have a hat. Let them spike it.
Yes, compulsory.
An amazing play, an amazing game by Ellis and by both teams here. Falcons coming out with the cleaner defense and not letting up through the entire game. Excited to see what they have in store for Champ Weekend, as well as how Bloom is going to improve and answer in Champ Weekend if they do end up seeing each other at some point. June 1st and 2nd in Colorado. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jory Moore with
Neha Wagenker. Thanks all.